Good morning. I am so late, but I think I can brush my teeth.
Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Meet Chris, and my name is of course Chris, and this is not the angle that the entire video was shot at. But before the video gets started today, and before I introduce anything whatsoever, this is what happened before I literally walked out of my house this morning. I was meant to leave my house by 7 o'clock. I didn't leave till about 7:15. So this is literally what happened before I got in the car and started shooting this video. Check it out.
I show a clue. It's 2 minutes to 7. I have to be out of my house by 7 o'clock. I still have this entire mess to clean off. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. But that's not today's video. It's coming off.
Want it to be smarty? Smart ass. Oh, look, now you got your back legs out. Yeah, okay. I'm going. Boy, buddy. You're getting introduced to the internet real fast and I haven't even done the introduction video. Okay, bye.
Don't know how well this is gonna work, but we're attempting to vlog in the car. Shit. Today's day 2 of Vader. I'm more amazed that I managed to actually kind of like lay in the second day of it. So we're doing all right, fam. Also, do you like the jumper? This is the Oscar and Oliver jumper. This is what I kind of had been working on since about like January, February of this year. The sun is so bright and I can see it, making me go completely, oh my god, it's blowing me out completely. This is the Oscar and Oliver jumper that I was working on since about January. I'm gonna take you guys through it at some stage, like I said. But if you want to go grab one of these, it's a hoodie. Hang on, there's a little hoodie back to it. There's some zips on the side that you can't see, and I'm not gonna really attempt to stand up right now to do my like OOTD kind of situation. But you're just gonna have to believe me, or if you want, hit the link in the description box below, oscarandoliver.com.au, and go check it out. It's literally the first thing on the homepage. Today's video, hopefully if you can tell by the title, is how to not give a fuck. Let me give you some context. Let's start with that. Now, when I say this, I read a book last year, I think it was. Last year? Yeah, no, it was definitely last year, because it was around the time that I was trying my best not to give a motherfucking massive F about what I was doing. At the time, I was working for a company that I was kind of like, you know what, I'm really overworking here. And it wasn't so much the work I was doing, it was the person I was working for at the time. And you know what, I wanted to do everything in my power to get out. And I started to literally not care about the work I was doing, which is really bad, because for someone in my case where I need to be like constantly on, I'm like a border collie, but I need to be motivated all the time if I want to keep caring about what I'm doing. So I was losing a lot of motivation really quick, and I was like, you know what, I want to learn how not to give an flying about what this person is doing, saying, behaving towards me, because they were very passive aggressive and really that's not cute. So I was like, I'm gonna go try this book out. Someone recommended it to me while I was at an event, actually. They were like, I read this book and I only bought it because of the title. I was like, what's the title? They go, the subtle art of not giving a fuck. So yeah, I went to the bookshop, I went and bought the book, and I started reading it, and there's this, I like read it back to back twice, I think. But there's this one part that always really stuck out to me, and it's this diagram or like this flow chart of literally how not to give a fuck. And she talks about this thing called a bank of fucks, which I'm just like, I heavily relate. I've never called it a bank of fucks. I just call it out of, I really just don't give a fuck anymore. But she has this flow chart in the book. So the author's name is Sarah McKnight or Sarah Knight. I cannot remember. I'll pop it up on the screen if I somehow did not get it right. Anyway. So, yeah, she has this flowchart in the book, and it essentially takes you through a whole scenario of why you would give a fuck. And there's kind of like, there's no steps essentially. It's like a yes or no situation. So it's kind of like, insert scenario here. Do I care about the scenario enough to give a fuck? Yes, proceed to giving fuck. If no, don't give a fuck. You don't have enough time in your life to give a fuck about things that are not going to be important to you. And I guess that's what the second step is. If you need to give a fuck about it, the second step is, does this thing or does this scenario have an impact on your life in any way? Like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? You really only want to give a fuck about scenarios that are going to be good for your life. Like, you don't want to care or give a fuck about things that just really, they're not going to add value to your life, basically. You want to think of yourself as a commodity, and that's not in the book, I'm just telling you. You want to think of yourself as a commodity, you know, you is expensive, you is brave, you is smart, you is loyal, you hustle, and you is important. So, can I put that on a t-shirt? Wow. So yeah, you want to think of yourself as a commodity. So is this thing going to add value to your life? If yes, proceed to giving said fuck. If no, proceed to next step of not giving a fuck. Is this going to make me a happier person or a better person? You always want to be better out of any scenario that you kind of go into. So you don't want to be going into scenarios that are going to make you feel like shit. You don't want to be going into scenarios that, you know, are not going to help you grow as a person, whether it's like this little bit growth or like this much sort of growth. So you want to go into the scenario and be like, okay, is this thing going to bring me happiness? Am I going to be a better person for it? Am I going to, you know, learn something from this scenario? If yes, proceed to giving fuck. That's like the whole big thing. If this thing is going to make you feel better, it's not going to make you look better unless, like, you know, you're going to the gym and you're working out and you know, eating right, eating healthy, you're doing all the right things. So if this is going to make you a better person on the whole, then let's give a fuck about it. If not, don't give a fuck. It's really not that hard. Like, I'm probably oversimplifying this it looks sort of complex. If I can find a link to it somewhere, I'll drop it in the description. But if it can make you a better person, do it. Do it. There is nothing stopping you from living your best life and being your being your best version of yourself. There was one more step. It's not even really a step. It's like one of the processes within this flowchart sort of thing. Will this thing affect your life? Blanket statement. Not will it add value to your life, not will it make you a better person, not do you need to give a fuck about it. It's will this thing affect you in every physical, metaphysical, spiritual, religious, whatever you want to call it. Will it affect your life in any way? I guess once you've gone through all three questions where you're like, yes, 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 will it affect your life on the whole? If yes, give the fuck. If no, don't give the fuck. The main thing is, if you're at any stage in this flowchart, whether you want to start at something adding value to your life, or something making you happier, or something, you know, in general, being a situation where you want to put yourself in, then you need to give a fuck. That is the main thing. If you can't answer yes to any of these things and it's just no, then you don't give a fuck. The main thing in your life that you need to worry about is how to take away the stress from what you do. You don't want to be putting yourself into situations where you're going to be like, shit, I wish I didn't fucking do that. So you want to be making sure that in your life, you are in this mindset of, will this help me? That's it. Do I have to give a fuck? If no, don't. It's really not that hard. And I guess it is hard because sometimes you're kind of like caught in a very sticky situation where you're like, I really need to give a fuck, but really I don't want to give a fuck. And on VSOS, if I talk really fast, I needed to get the words out of my head. Because, you know, there's a lot that happens up here, and I need to get it onto this. And also, what a burp. That's the general gist of it. Hopefully that made some sort of sense. If it did, please leave me a comment to let me know that you're like, oh, I get it now. I really get it. I really don't want to give a fuck anymore, but I get it. Yeah, so I'm gonna just sit here and sip my tea. What is here? I burnt my tongue! And my throat. Oh my god, my esophagus. Oh my god. You guys, I think that is the end of this video. I've rambled enough. Once again, hopefully you guys learned something. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm literally dropping a new video every single day. So stay tuned, because tomorrow there is gonna be another one, more than likely in my car. This is the only time that I have to sit down and make a video without it being a full scale, high level production. And by that, I mean sitting in my room. And if you guys want to stalk my life, see what I get up to, if you want to grab any Oscar and Oliver items, all my links are in the description box below. You've got my Twitter, my Tumblr, my Instagram, and my Snapchat. You've also got the Oscar and Oliver website down in the links. Yeah, down in the links. And you've got the Oscar and Oliver Instagram handle. There's also a Twitter and there's also a Facebook, but I feel like most of you will sit there and go to Instagram if any of you outside of my mother watch these videos. So that is the end of this video. And you know what, you guys, I'm gonna see you tomorrow, and that's actually a promise because I have to get it up. It's Vader. Anyway guys, I love you, sexy face. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Mwah.